homosexuality is impermissible, it is haram. Our stance is crystal clear on this matter.
In Jinja city, the imams, joined by students, marched along the streets holding placards that condemned homosexuality.
Well, we believe that homosexuality, if done in practice, is sinful. And we will never back down from that.
Then how can anybody believe that same-sex intercourse is something that is ethical and moral in the eyes of our Creator?
Then when what is wrong, and in Islam and most of the major religions of the world, homosexuality is a sin, it's a crime, it will not take you to heaven, it will take you to hell.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره.
The need to be authentic was greater than the fact that I might die. So I'm Imam Muhsin Hendricks, and I am the Executive Director of the Al-Ghuruba Foundation, which is an organization that provides safety and security to queer Muslims, and also helping them to reconcile faith with sexual orientation and gender identity. Well, I was about 5 years old when I noticed that I was different from other boys, but I didn't know at that early stage what it was called. And so when I got to puberty, that's when I realized that I was also sexually attracted to the same sex. And when I noticed that, and at the same time noticing that my grandfather is also talking about gay people going to hell from the pulpit, it drove me even further into the closet. Until about the age of 21, and then I went to Pakistan to go and do my Islamic studies, and it's only then when I knew that, or when I discovered that my Muslim community was homophobic and not really my faith or the scriptures. Once I knew, I discovered that, I thought, well, then I'm coming out. There's nothing wrong with me and my relationship with God, so I'm coming out. Or it was written, on the front page of the Argus, gay imam comes out of the closet. And at that point I didn't care what the world was thinking, because for me it was more important to be authentic with myself. One of our constituents he was in a mosque, in a mainstream mosque, and the entire sermon was about the condemnation of homosexuality, and he said he felt so unsafe in the mosque. And then I said, well, then perhaps it's time that we start a safe space, an inclusive safe space for queer people. And that was in 2011. We had a small room downstairs. Although it was dubbed as a gay mosque, it was a safe space for so many people beyond sexual orientation and gender identity.
My name is Akila Pillay. The course that I'm doing is Masters in Islam, Gender and Sexuality. I always wanted to lead Salah, the prayer. I always wanted to make a sermon or a khutbah. I always wanted to make the Iqamah. And Imam Muhsin gave me the opportunity to do two of those things that I've dreamt about for so long, since I was young.
I think that's probably the one thing that's different, that we are a gender non-segregated space. We believe that women can take up spiritual leadership roles, and that if they are given the opportunity, that more women would want to step into that role. But because we have sort of made women believe that they need to be subservient to men, that We haven't seen them stepping up to that leadership role. So in our mosque, we encourage that. So it was necessary to start this mosque. And so in the beginning, there was a lot of criticism from the Muslim community that we're trying to create separatism within Islam. But I think as the years went by, they started to understand what the work was about in this mosque. And that it's no different from any other mosque. I mean, you don't see pink ribbons on the walls and stuff. It's, it's just a space that is inclusive.
I feel at home when I'm here. I feel welcome, and I feel like if I'm going through anything, if I'm experiencing any obstacles or challenges, I can just talk to anyone here and they will be there for me.
Often people ask me, where do I get the energy to do this? Because I do like one training after the other, and I go from one country to another country to do a training. And I think what recharges my batteries and what gives me the motivation to continue this kind of work is when I come to the end of a training and somebody would sit there with tears in their eyes, but tears of appreciation that I have brought them hope that they can embrace both these very strong identities, which is their spiritual identity or religious identity and their sexual orientation. And when I see that, that's what makes me happy.
I would say the major factors or the major things that he helped me with was, number one, to accept who I am by realizing that there is nothing wrong with me to begin with. Number two, he made me fall in love with Islam more than ever before. Number three, he helped me to reconcile the two, my sexual orientation with my Islamic faith, and obviously with all of that comes re-empowerment, and for me the space is re-empowering.
I think the Muslim community will probably always be homophobic, the vast majority of them. But at least if we cannot kill each other, and if we can at least respect that there are differences of opinion, that there are people that are different in terms of sexual orientation, gender identity, in terms of how we practice our faith, and just to embrace those differences, and that each person is on a journey of their own. So I cannot dictate that my lifestyle and my way of understanding Islam should fit for you as well. So I'm hoping for that we become more open-minded and more accepting and less judgmental.